Hey Leo, wow, you're going to love this month ahead. You've got Martian firepower in your pocket for November of 2025. You've got Mars moving through your sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign, Leo. And this is going to give you a huge amount of courage, daring, action taking powers, the ability to choose and make decisions. He who rides a tiger cannot dismount. You're riding the back of a lion. This is going to be true all through November and it all through December because of a retrogradation. We have 2 months with Mars in the sign of Leo. And so this is a big story for you. You are a fire being with a hot Mars energy coming your way. Only caveat is watch for burning yourself, right? Like a sunburn, Mars and Leo, or putting your finger on a hot element. Otherwise, mostly quite positive. And we're going to dive into every detail of how you are going to be taking advantage of a very powered up, fired up month ahead as we see Mars's engagements and other planetary stories for the month of 2024, November. Now, before we get started, let me remind you that if you're new to my channel, I am Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, the whole sign house system. Plus, you'll have a lot of fixed stars and minor asteroids when I talk astrology on my regular videos, up to 30 videos a month sometimes. If you also want to know what I'm up to, I have a special. It's called my pre-sale for my 2025 Never Seen on YouTube videos. Each video is up to 2 hours long, and it's an audio download as well for your year ahead, broken down into quarters with a PDF guidebook. And you can get that down below. Click the More button, or I'll pin it to the top of my contents. It is going to end on November 15th. I've extended it a little bit, and you get this product delivered to your inbox on the 17th of November. This is something I do every year to raise funds for ring lights and microphones and new laptops and equipment and time stampers and virtual assistants to help me grow my channel. I cannot do a one-woman show all of the time. So this is my yearly fundraiser for that. Help me out. Buy it, you get something back, and this is content I do for you, deep dives 2025 for your sign. Now, let's talk astrology. I'm having a day. I'm recording this on October the 17th, the day of an Aries full moon. I'm honoring the Aries full moon by wearing the red, but I'm having to re-record a lot of content today because my brain is not online for some reason. Oh, here we go, Leo. I'm going to get you right this time. When Mars is moving through your sign, and it's definitely the first 6 degrees of Leo that he's moving through before retrograding December 6th, but nonetheless, you all feel it. All you Leos feel it. You're going to notice that you have a lot more fire in your belly and you're just really more decisive. Yes, you will not tolerate fools gladly, right? All November, December. If your husband's acting like, or wife is acting like, a loser, you're going to point it out to them. You're more combative with people you're in relationship with. But that aside, Mars here in such a long time period is not normal. And one of the things I love, love, love is there's a sweet spot in the sky. You see, you have Venus moving through your fifth house, which is Sagittarius, throughout till November the 11th, whereas Mars is in your sign from the 4th of the month onwards. So 4th of November to the 11th of November. You have a double whammy of a fire Venus in your fifth house of sexuality, love, and romance, a money goddess in a luck house as well. And this is good for winning money in competitive ways. So possibly you could win a bingo hall game or a lottery win or a casino win. It's good for that kind of vibe. So take a chance, know your limit, play within it. November the 4th to the 11th, but also it's really good for harmonizing relationships with children, having more fun and pleasure in your life in general, feeling like you're more sexually oriented towards your main squeeze. And if you're single, it could bring you a powerful, passionate new love story in that tight little blessed window that we're talking about, November 4th to 11th. Okay, so go on a date then and see what happens. You'll be baking in a nice fire trine energy between Venus and Mars that's going to benefit that new relationship. Creative projects can be very passionately engaged in, as well as entrepreneurial projects as well in that sweet window of time. Now, moving forward, November the 11th, Venus gets moved on into the next sign, which is Capricorn, which is your work house. Now, that's not just work. It is your work. It's like, my job, my work, my colleagues, co-workers, my employees, if you're the boss. It's that workaday environment. But Venus will bless you there. But it involves health matters as well. So you're going to get some Venusian health blessings and work blessings and blessings for your pets, getting a new pet. When on November the 11th, she moves into your 6th house. Now, she's a good goddess in a negative house sometimes. So this is also going to make better health outcomes happen, more fun and joy at work, better outcomes for your pets. If you're somebody who wants to rent a property as a tenant or vice versa, you want to lease out a property, beneficial things will occur in this in area of your life as well. She'll be in that Capricorn 6th house from November 11th through to December the 7th. Mercury, the messenger of the gods, is going to get himself stuck in the sign of Sagittarius. I say stuck, but what I mean is he'll be there for a very long time. Why will he be there for a long time? And what does it mean for you? Well, first of all, Mercury is about information, news, conversations, text messages, but he's also a very social person. And Mercury will be moving into your 5th house. Remember where Venus is hanging out? He'll be there until from November the 2nd until January, and this January the 8th, and this extremely long stay happened last in 2017. You might compare notes. This could be really important time for you regarding, well, first of all, if you want to have a child and Mercury and Venus are here together, you're going to have that November 2nd, Mercury there, Venus there till the 11th. It's good for conception, perhaps, but it's really good for fun and enjoyment. I mean, really, November the 2nd, Mercury in your 5th house of fun, play, joy, and pleasure. Venus there until the 11th. November 2nd to 11th is get your sexy, fun times on. Have fun, enjoy life, more fun, more play, more joy, more pleasure. Just have fun. Just enjoy yourself. But yeah, this is a creative house. Mercury gives you ideas and Venus gives you some good outcomes in your creative projects, your entrepreneurial projects as well. So that's nice for you November 2nd through to November 11th when you have both planets, Mercury and Venus, in your 5th house. With Venus leaving, though, on the 11th, Mercury's all by his lonesome, and he's going to be in a long, prolonged journey all through those months ahead through till January because of retrogradation. When he turns retrograde on November the 26th, it's at 22 degrees of the sign of Sag. Certainly, if you have your sun, moon, or rising in Leo near 22 degrees, you're really going to feel the backward movement where you're asked to go back over that creative project, back and reinvestigate that romance. Emails, phone calls, text messages from former lovers and romantic partners and distant children may come rolling in on the 26th of the month through to the end of the month, as this retrograde will be a part of the story. Keep that in mind. Now, what about other planets? I want to mention one thing. Jupiter is stuck and staying retrograde in Sagittarius for you, and he's a benefic, so you don't mind him there. You're going to be happy to have him as a guest in your Sagittarius, a guest in your Gemini sky through till next June. And your Gemini sky for you is about allies and benefactors and greater career gains and good things and luck and prosperity coming from people that you've known, like an elder sibling or friends from your past. And that just continues to happen in the month of November. You might also note that you're experiencing a retrograde Saturn turning direct, as we all are. Saturn will head into direct motion, and I jotted the date down on the 15th of the month. And this is indicating halfway through the month of November, things that have been reinvestigated and revised to do with your banks, your loans, your mortgages, the money you share with a spouse, your investments or your inheritance monies, those kinds of 8th house monies are now going to, after several months since June revision, finally go forward in a new way. And that includes taxes as well. And mid-November, we get the forward direction in that part of your 8th house sky. Now, all that said, we're going to break the month down bit by bit. I suggest you get a pen or a paper to write it down, or to save this video, download it, or put it in a watch later, because you're going to need the information as the month goes on. Potentially, you can benefit from taking a few notes. I'm going to try to cover it in a systematic and slow as I can possibly talk manner, but I am an Aries sun, moon, and rising. No, sun, moon, and Mercury, so I speak fast. I can't spin the wheel for you. Okay. So just don't ask me to, because I keep losing essential times. We're going to turn into, as the months go on, we move the ascendant forward, weeks go on. So let's just look at the map of the sky. You get the gist, right? There's Mars moving here on November 4th into your sign. The first thing you're going to encounter on November 1st is an opposition to Pluto, but that's November 1st. Mars will be at 29 degrees, and you're going to have a big turning point, critical momentum around some conflict, perhaps, or decisions that must be made around addiction, self-undoing, pets and rentals and tenancies and workmate conflicts. Now, not want to scare anyone, but this can lead to a passing of a pet, particularly if the pet is an elder pet during the first few days of November, the 1st to the 3rd in particular. Yet we have this ongoing Pluto-Mars opposition, but out of sign as we move towards the 4th of the month. You might notice as well, and you could quit your job on this one. You might say, I'm out of here. I don't want to work in this job. I retire out. I quit. There's a lot of intensity around work situations around the November 1st to the 3rd. We also have a new moon at the same time, November the 1st, and the new moon is at 9 degrees of the sign of Scorpio. And this is just a new beginning around home, land, and property and real estate matters that may unfold over the course of 6 months. It will happen at 9 degrees of Scorpio and most greatly impact sun, moon, and rising Leos near 9 degrees in a positive way, probably, but it's just new beginnings around changes in your home life or where you live, or things within the home changing as well. As we go forward, we also notice that there's a trine forming early in the month from the 1st to the 3rd, and that is a beautiful water trine that's going to form with Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. At this point, he's still here, trining Mars in his long stay through the sign of Cancer here in your 12th house, and it's also going to be trining good old Neptune in his forever stay in the sign of Pisces. Water trine in houses 8, 4, and 12 are spiritual awakening energies, and deep dive downloads, insights, and spiritual things may occur for you during that window of the first 3 days of November. But on the other hand, mortgages, refinances, sale and purchases of homes, those matters are also very highlighted in a positive and dreamy way in the first 3 days of November. On November 3rd to the 5th kind of vibe, you're going to notice that there's a fight between Venus and Jupiter, or a discussion that's not easy. Now, Venus normally is, in this place, very powerful. She's in the house of her joy, and she's got sort of strength by being in a house of her joy in the ancient tradition. And she's having a discussion with a retrograde and also debilitated Jupiter. She's got the upper hand. What are you trying to have happen in a creative project, artistic project, or romance, or with or about or for a child? And there may be some objections from the 11th house, which is where Jupiter is sitting, some friend, an elder sibling, some person from the work colleague space is objecting to things you're doing in the fun, joyful, playful, creative home area of your life. Do not worry. This 3rd to the 5th of November will pass in a very fast way and be a time of short-term difficulty. With the sun, though, in that same, November 3rd to the 5th timeframe in a flow to Saturn, the sun is going to say, well, what we want, Saturn, is we want to have something really positive happen when it comes to matters to do with finances that you share with your spouse or business partner, or with a mortgage related, or finances or credit cards and debts related to the home environment. And that's a nice little financial glow up, especially if you're doing something to make money from home, or if you want money for or about home matters. And that includes potentially buying and selling real estate. On November the 9th, Venus will square Neptune. Now, Venus herself is, again, a benefic. And so when she does something difficult, we want to remember she's bringing the best out on us. And so she squares Neptune. Where have you been illusioned, deluded, unsure, rose-colored glasses around your retirement fund, your investments in the markets, your tax status, your money with your inheritance or spousal shared resources, wherever you had a lot of uncertainty there, or a little bit unclear perception. And she's going to square Neptune, and she's going to, as a money goddess, bring clarity. This can bring real clarity also around money situations involving children, debts, and loans, especially if children owe you money or you owe them money. And there's this kind of clearing the fog of confusion and bringing a new perspective on it that's much more clear-eyed and certain. Venus is also going to end up in the sky. Oh no, we'll say that for later. Mercury will square Saturn shortly after November the 9th. That's on November the 12th. Yeah, Mercury, he's like, what the heck, we see Venus squaring Neptune and then we Mercury squaring Saturn. It's this fifth house, eighth house stuff. If you have children and financial issues with children, they're all on the highlight burner November 9th to the 12th. Otherwise, it could be some disputes around money with a romantic partner. It could be some stories to do with your entrepreneurial or creative business and the savings, money, investment structures of your life. You do have money luck. Venus is in your fifth house. Buy a lottery ticket. This is not so shabby. This is a luck goddess, inner joy in the house of winning money. And Mars makes you more competitive in Leo. So take a chance, go to the bingo hall, go to the casino, maybe winning some money. But then you have to deal up something here. And winning money is only possible till November the 11th. But when we get to the 9th to the 12th, we're having also to square away situations regarding money and shared resources with other people. Alrighty. Worst case scenario, also some very difficult sexual secrets are being revealed about your children or about your long-term romantic life. And revelations may be hard, but necessary. On November 16th through to the 19th, the sun will come into an opposition to Uranus. Now, sun opposition to Uranus can be a shock or a surprise or an unexpected development to do with your career and your reputation vis-a-vis things going on around your home and work, but also regarding authority or father figures. A shock or surprise regarding a male or authority masculine figure in your life, especially if that male figure lives in the home with you. Otherwise, there's changes coming through, a shocking surprise to do with your home in relationship to your career and in relationship to your reputation as well. That again is November, I said, 16th to the 19th. And we see at the same time this is happening, there's a full moon. And the full moon on the 15th, 16th is in Taurus at 24 degrees, a big full light in the 10th house of career. Well, you have the surprise. Wow, it's baking in this full moon, a kind of 6 months of unexpected, shocking, erratic changes in work and career. Not necessarily bad. Okay, with Algol, the well star, and Uranus up there, it could look good on you. Around the time of this moon, the 15th, 16th, and the sun opposite Uranus that I discussed, we also will notice Mercury opposite Jupiter. Mercury and Jupiter are having this argument, and we already saw Venus have it November 3rd and 4th. Okay, so first Venus gets into a tussle, now Mercury. This isn't about your romantic life, your creative life, or your children. This is some kind of conversation that's difficult, and you're being opposed by a friend, an elder sibling, somebody in the 11th house, a group of belonging that disagrees with what you're doing in your creative, artistic, or sexual life. There's some difficult conversations here. But still, Jupiter is actually in charge of where Mercury is. And if you can win some money, Jupiter will tell him to do it. Jupiter is in the house of pennies from heaven and in his joy. And money from the past as well may come to you in an unexpected, surprising, and lucky ways. And it's not always bad around November the 16th to the 19th. Finally, the sun is trining Neptune during the same window of time, and that is a flow. And, there's an opposition to Algol, Uranus, but then right after there's a trine to Neptune, middle of the month. So Neptune would be like a dreamy, positive outcome is emerging with the sun in the fourth house of land and property and home life, and the financial matters to do with that, like a tax rebate, tax reduction, property tax reduction, refinancing your home, selling your home for a dream come true price, buying a home for a dream come true price, November 16th to the 19th. Saturn is direct at the same time. So all that holdback and tiresomeness that you've been having with your longer range savings, monies, investments, and chunky money that you don't earn is now moving forward middle of November. Don't forget, there are inheritances, especially from elder people, that grandparent type things that some of you guys are going to get with that Saturn transit. So you may be looking at some shifts around those money stories mid-November. On November 21st to the 22nd, the sun will sextile Pluto. Now, this is just a nice soft, sun is busy this month. This is a nice soft touch. Pluto is power and wealth and riches, and, sun is like the light. So the light of power and wealth and riches connected to the home life connected to paying off debts, debt repayment plans, financial debt elimination regarding home matters, or inheritance matters. And that is a nice sweet spot in the sky as well. Now, I said this earlier to you guys, you have a possibility of a loss of a pet with Pluto through to November the 11th. Oh, sorry. Let's reframe that last one. I apologize. Back up. The sun is sextiling Pluto as the sun moves into Sagittarius and Pluto moves into Aquarius. That's what I need to do. I need to write this down because I keep forgetting that. So Pluto can bring the death of a pet. I'm sorry, in the first 11 days of November. I apologize for real life, but the sun in Sagittarius and Pluto in Aquarius is a new story. So that's what I want to mention, November 21st to the 22nd. With the sun in the house of children, creative projects, and entrepreneurship, fifth house, and seventh house, this could be a time where there's a profound transformation in a long-standing romantic love relationship that powers up, or a new development that's very positive for one of your children that is empowering them, or something really good going on for you when it comes to how you reach your creative projects and your entrepreneurial projects into the larger sphere of the seventh, the audience, the marketplace. This is a nice touch. So a little glow up November 21, 22. Also November 21, 22, Venus will be in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn. I think I mentioned this, but if I didn't, I apologize. Yeah, I think I forgot to tell you. Yeah, I did. Venus will be in the sign of Capricorn, November 11th to December the 7th. And that is your sixth house. Oh, I did mention it. Good for work, health, pets, tenancies, and rentals. And as Venus is in the sign of Capricorn, and we move into the final stories of the month of November, around the 21st and 22nd, there is a flow to Saturn. And this is about enduring and lasting love or money stories, usually Venus, Saturn, but it's very monetary with the sixth house, eighth house story. So there's some kind of stabilization of financial matters. It can be the ability to pay off credit cards or debts and eliminate debt, or have debt repaid to you that's owed. It could have something to do with a changing of your structures around your money and your work situation that's going to increase your financial wellness. Those financial stories look very positive for you. And it could also involve inheritance money and debt elimination stories as well. This story is November 21 to the 22. On November 26th to the 27th, the sun will trine Mars. Mars is in your sign. Sun is going to be flowing to your Martian element, as you are so decisive, powerful, and action-oriented, and big-hearted, and bold, and courageous, to your fifth house. Very positive developments with this storyline. It may indeed be something along, did I say fifth house? Wait. Yeah, fifth house. A very sweet development in romance, a very sweet development regarding your children, a very sweet development, positive development regarding some creative or artistic project that you've been working on. And you're seeing a big light shine here, a big positive glow up November the 26th to the 27th. And the end of the month, we have on the 30th, a new moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. That is the house of your children, your romance and your creativity and your entrepreneurial and artistic endeavors. And a new beginning is forming November the 30th that can last 6 months. And you flow and glow. And it's a 9-degree Sagittarius moon. So you, Leo, sun, moon, and rising, with those placements near 9 degrees are more deeply impacted. You feel like, wow, there's a whole new light in my house of sex, romance, children, and love, and romance and creative projects. It feels good. I love this new moon here because it's coming right after that trine to Mars. So you're going to feel like lit up, and it could be about your kids, they don't care if they're little or they're adults. So maybe a really positive breakthrough moment for one of your children as well, November 26th to the 27th. And technically the firstborn child is the fifth house. So this can also apply mostly to a firstborn. All right. So thank you for listening. You guys are amazeballs. Go with the red, go with the fire. Don't burn your fingers, don't get a sunburn. Otherwise, check out my description box below. Like, subscribe, join me for anything you want. My Lunatic Astrology Patreon community is really robust. I meet with them in 3 meetings by Zoom. Depends on your tier. We have classes, we have content there and chats that we don't do on YouTube. So come join me on Patreon for $5 a month at the lowest tier. And you can always quit if you don't like what I'm up to on my Patreon community. Have a wonderful month of November.